Here's a gas camping stove that's a bit different. This is one of those Chinese designed cookers and was the cheapest one that I could find on AliExpress. It's portable, compact, lightweight, and has an adjustable flame and a bunch of other features. Now this is a very different alternative to the usual cheap portable cartridge cookers that most people have, like my old one here. But the question is this portable cartridge gas stove any good? And more importantly, is it safe? Now in this video, I'll show you everything you want to know about this gas burner, and all its relevant links will be in the description below. Now I'm not trying to sell you anything, but if I come across a product that I think others might be interested in, I'll review it so you can decide for yourself if this product is for you. And by the way, if you enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel where I review a bunch of different stuff. Anyways, let's get into it. So this is how I received this product. It's boxed and packaged really well. Everything's wrapped up as it should be to protect the components. I mean, there was no damage to it whatsoever. I was very happy with the way they packaged this together. It comes with a very light carry bag that fits the product perfectly. It also comes with some Chinese instructions with absolutely no English on it whatsoever. So yeah, I threw that to the side, that's useless to me. However, the cooker itself is very self-explanatory, so you really don't need any instructions. So let's take a look at the design of this stove. What makes this a unique burner is the design of it. I mean, it's small, it's compact, compared to the usual cartridge camping cookers that most of us own. It's made out of an aluminium alloy and feels quite strong to me. The cylindrical shape of it makes it very compact and really doesn't take up much room at all. So to open it up, you flip open the door and you can see just how the burner and the legs fit inside the whole unit nicely. The inner burner then simply swings out 90 degrees. It's kind of spring loaded. The alloy legs both swing out to their final position. And you'll notice that the legs have spring-loaded grooves underneath also. And it's also got these rubber feet to help it stay in place wherever you put it down. The folding legs provide a 3-point stand to hold your pots or pans while you cook, and I found these to be actually very strong, very well made. The stands have teeth that will hold your cookware quite good. Now the 3-point stand will also hold large size pots and pans too. And if you have a look at the center radius from the burner to the actual body of the unit, it's around 135 millimeters. So this means this stove will easily hold pans of around 270 millimeters in diameter. Now let's talk about fuel. This cooker is a cartridge style cooker which runs off the standard 220 gram butane gas cartridges. Now these are extremely cheap, they're efficient, they last for a long time, and I can buy a 4-pack of these from my local hardware store, Bunnings, for $6. Now that's about $1.50 for each gas canister. Cheap as chips, mate. Now the way these gas canisters connect to the cooker, this is something I haven't really seen before. It's a bit new to me. It's got what's called a magnetic gas valve connection for the butane cartridge, and I think this works really, really well. So you put in your gas cartridge and the magnetic ring that's on the connection then holds your cartridge, and what you do is you push it forward and it will auto lock into place. I mean, that's pretty cool, that's great. To disconnect it, you simply pull away the gas cartridge, it disconnects, and you take it out. Now the butane cartridge holds quite firmly in place. Now what I read is that this magnetic gas valve has a safety overpressure design. And that means if the gas cartridge pressure is too high, then it will auto disconnect the cartridge. Now I haven't seen exactly how this works because my gas cartridges have never been overpressurized for me in my experience. So that's just something you'll have to take at the manufacturer's word, I guess. So once you put in your gas cartridge, you then close the door and it clicks into place, protecting the gas tank. Now let's talk about the flame and the flame control. This stove has a piezo ignition function, so you don't need any matches or anything like that to start your fire. It does it automatically. To turn it on, you simply turn the control knob all the way anti-clockwise, and this will begin to release some gas. You turn it another step and the piezo will activate a spark and the flame will turn on. Now I love the flame that the burner head creates here, and it definitely is better than my other standard cooker. This flame seems to come from the inside of the burner head and not from the outside like the other cooker does. So I think this is actually a little bit better in, I guess, windier environments. The flame can be very high, it's very adjustable, and there's good heat output from this flame that's created. Flame control is very precise on this for high heat, or if you want to simply create a simmer flame. And to turn it off, you simply return it to the top 12 o'clock position and the flame turns off. So let's talk about the size of this burner. This burner is 250 millimeters long, it's 90 millimeters wide, and it's 110 millimeters high. Let's compare that to the older style cooker, which is 340 millimeters long, 300 millimeters wide, and 110 millimeters high. Let's talk about how heavy this is. This cooker weighs just over 1.2 kilograms. The older style cooker, with its usual carry case, is just over 2.1 kilograms. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I purchased this from AliExpress for $64. That's 64 Australian dollars, which included delivery to my door. So that's great. Now, there are different designs of this cartridge gas burner. Most of all of these other designs range from around $80 to $120. So the one that I purchased, I think, in my opinion, I got it for a bargain. So let's test now just how fast this will boil 1 liter of water. Now I'll compare the two units so you can see this newer one and the older one, just the speeds on both. Now water will usually boil a little bit faster if the lid is left on, but for the purposes of this video, I'll simply leave the lid off so you can see the nice hot steamy bubbles being created by the flames. Now, people watching these types of review videos on gas cookers, they'll often talk about how much heat these things produce, or how many watts of flame power, or how many BTUs it emits. And that means British thermal units, which is a heat measurement. For me personally, that information is not what's important. I want to know practically just how fast this will cook my food or bring my water to the boil. And so yeah, the best test I like to show is how fast this will bring 1 liter of cold water to the boil. So let's just quickly talk about the pros and the cons of this burner. Now the good points about this burner is that it's very portable, it's compact like crazy, it's got great heat, and it's very, very cheap to run off the butane gas cartridges. I love the easy magnetic gas connection that it has. I think it works really well. A lot of people are often very concerned about gas safety when it comes to cheap Chinese products from AliExpress, and fair enough, I understand that. However, I can honestly say that the components on this cooker are very well made, and I personally have no safety concerns at all when using this. I own and use a lot of different gas burners, and this particular burner feels very safe to use. And I'm also very impressed with simply the performance of this burner. It works really, really well. Cleanup is another thing. Cleanup is very easy compared to the other large cooker that I have. I mean, once you take out the gas cartridge and put the internal components inside, just give it a quick wipe on the outside and it's good to pack away. Now the things that I don't like is that it doesn't really have any wind protection, so you will have to think about using this in windy environments. Whereas when you use the old larger cooker that I have here, the plastic case that it comes with can provide a bit of a wind barrier. So that is a consideration you will have to think about if you use this outside. The other thing that I think is a bit of a con is the cost. I mean, this is something else to consider as well. You can usually buy the older, larger cooker that I've shown you here for about $20, $25. They're sold everywhere. But this smaller, more compact one will cost you around 3 times as much, and that's the cheapest one that I could find. Otherwise, the prices on these things can go up to around $120, and I've even seen them for $150. But I guess that's usually expected. The smaller you want to go in gas cookers, the more you usually will pay. So I thought value for money, getting this delivered to my door, 64 Australian dollars, I thought that's pretty good price, and I'm very happy with the product that I received. Anyways, I really like this little cooker, and yes, I do recommend it, and I think it's a great piece of kit. So that's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. Stay tuned for more reviews of other cool stuff that I've got coming up, and catch you on the next one.